We're on, folks. We are doing it. We are live. We are kicking it out, people. We are pumped. Things are jumping. We just gonna sit back and just have some fun today. It's gonna be an open talk day, man. Open talk, that's for sure. Just wanted to sit back and let everybody know that we're doing our thing. We said we would. I see that we got to get all of y'all connected. Connecting with Facebook. We're getting ready to log in with Facebook. Okay. We got to get to Twitter. We're connecting with the Twitter folks right now. So they jumping on the bandwagon. They good. We're going to MySpace. Look at everybody just jumping in. They good. Everybody's just on board now. Connecting with, American IM. We connecting with everybody right now. We connecting with the world, y'all. This is, oh man, this is getting deep, man. We are just making it happen. Gotta change something here. Something gotta give. We gotta remember the password. Yeah, we gotta remember the password for them, man. Nope, that's not the password. So we may have to let them go. I don't know. But what we want to start talking about, and the first thing that we want to talk about today is what was on those people's minds that put the baby inside the wash machine, man. I can't believe that. I mean, people have just lost their minds, I guess, and they just don't care what they do, how they do it, who they do it to. You know, they're just doing anything and everything. And it's getting sad. It's getting real sad, people. The things that we are doing right now, it's just no rhyme, no reason for it. There's no excuse. People, you know, we got to start thinking, man. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to dedicate this show here to the community. Because the community is in bad shape, and you know, people are sitting back, they're suffering a lot of stuff, and it's just crazy. People are sitting back and they don't know if they should be friends with a person, or you know, do you get to know your neighbors when you don't know if your neighbor might be Charles Manson? Do you really want to get to know the neighbors when they're sitting there with blunts and beer everywhere? You know, it's hard to want to get to know the neighbors when so much chaos is going on, that's for sure. So, you know, what do you think about that? What do you have to say? You know, what do you have to say about it? You know, what do you think? What do you think is the problem? Is it that people just don't care? City government, you know, everything is cut. Nobody can come up with a real solution. It's like the only thing they can think of doing is cutting the fire department, the police department. Yet crime is running rampant. That don't make good sense. It's like the whole world just overnight took a go crazy pill. Seems like everybody just forgot all morals, all values, just you know, just sat back and said, look, we just gonna be stupid. We just gonna do whatever. Uh, don't make no difference how we do it, who we do it to. We're just gonna do something. And so, you know, it's sad. It's really sad when this type of thing starts going on. You know, we're on live right now, so we just sitting back and sharing a few things. I was looking at Allen Park, Michigan today. They've up and decided, the city council voted last night 6-1 to go ahead and to eliminate the police and the fire department. But yet they don't have anything in place to replace those people that they're getting ready to get rid of. I thought that the government, one of the number one functions was to serve the people. But for some reason, it looks like government wants us to serve them. And when are we going to start writing these people and letting them know that we are fed up, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired with the antics and folly that they're putting on here? How long are we going to go for this charade that they're playing? You know, down in the city of Detroit, I don't see too many officials talking about taking pay cuts, but I see them talking about laying off city workers. You know, I wish I could get some of the city workers to sit back and maybe check in on the poll. You know, sit back and let us know what's going on. What do you think is happening here? And they say the city is on a decline. Well, we sure don't have much to follow when it comes to what our leaders are out there pushing off on us. So what do you expect? You expect the city to be in a total perfect well-oiled machine when our government leaders themselves can't agree on anything? They can't even run the government, and these people have made careers out of this stuff. It's not like they just started, or a lot of these folks are old heads that have been there. Has government gone too far? Are they running amok? What do you think? Has government gone rogue? I just wonder. It's really getting to be a sad state of affairs. You know, because now I can't tell the Democratic congressman from the Republican congressman. I can't tell anybody from anybody. Seems like everybody's out to grease their own pockets. And so we want to throw that out there. We've got a poll question out there that you can sit back, and it's there for your consideration. So you can sit back and you can weigh in on that. Is the government gone rogue? Is the government gone rogue? That's what I want to know. What do you think? Then we've got old ladies that are defending themselves because they're scared of the kids, and so they shoot them and kill them. But the lady's now in jail. She's getting ready to face a murder charge. But yet we got murderers on the street who go and commit a crime, and they just sit back and get a few thises and thats. Kennedy's pulled it off again. Lady found shot. One of the are found dead. Those Kennedys, they seem to get away with murder. We just want to know what you think about it. It's it's going to be really bad. I've got the question. I'm putting the question up right now, folks, even as we speak. Yes, government's gone bad. No. Or I don't know. Something's going on, people. And we want you to sit back and weigh in on this. The poll started. We put it out there. And we're going to see how you're going to weigh in before the end of this show. Also, how about this weather, man? The weather in Michigan has been beautiful. We've been getting little rain. It's staying right up in the 70s, low 80s. And I hate to say it, but I think we're in for a hot one this summer. I think the summer is going to be a hot, hot, hot summer. And if things keep going on the way they are, it's going to get even hotter. Because I am convinced that people have just lost their minds. People are doing anything and everything with no remorse, no regret. There's no feeling. There's no more, am I my brother's keeper? I don't know what happened to the love. The love is gone, folks. There is no more love. I'm going to get mine, you go get yours. That seems to be the attitude. And I just want to know, what do you think about all of this stuff? But back to the government being out of control. I've been sitting back and just listening to some of the stuff that the state of Michigan is trying to push off on the people. And I know it's not only Michigan. It's got to be other places too. So you can always email me here at Ustream. Let me know what's going on. Drop us a letter. bossconductor05@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Because something is going badly wrong. Something is out of whack. Maybe they're up there smoking. Maybe they're doing that kush. Or they might even be on crack. Who knows? I know it's gotten beyond the cocktail hour. It's getting late in the day. And government is letting everybody down, that's for sure. I always was taught in civics that government was designed for us, but it doesn't seem to be that way anymore. It seems like government is doing what it wants to do. Do they spend too much time on vacation? Seems like they're never in Washington, but they're always jet setting all over the place, spending $40,000 in Vegas and out in California in some fine vacation villa. You can't even get them to go to court no more. You remember last month they was trying to get the guy in court, and he sent him a webcam live, sitting in the hot tub with 2 drinks. Said he'll be back when he can, but yet he was supposed to be in court. If that would have been me or you, they would have came to your house and grabbed you and took you right on in. I don't know what's going on, people, but make it plain. Let me know. Let me see the phones jump a little bit. Let me see the polls go up and down. We are recording and we are sitting back and broadcasting right now, live. Because it's a sad, sad situation what we got going on. We decided we just going to experiment for a few days. We're going to come on at all different times, so you just got to kind of catch us when you can. But this is News and Views with Les Jackson on Ustream. And we're going to try to put a poll out there every day. We're going to talk about some of everything from the bedroom to the White House. Here's something else you want to think about. Marriage is been on a decline, but now it's on the uprise. More people want to say I do. And it's not just this same-sex stuff. I don't know how you feel about what the president said about same-sex marriage, but you know, one thing I do know is God didn't create Adam and Steve. He didn't create Priscilla and Marilla. Last time I looked, it was still the right thing to do. Man takes a woman. And what about the girl that got suspended from school for 5 days because she did a homework assignment about bullying? You know, even bullying has evolved to some kind of madness, because I remember when we were young, we were bullying. Heck, kids have always bullied one another. Even inside the house, the oldest kid would bully the younger kids. But now it's to the point where it's gotten violent. No more pulling pranks. The days of pranks are over. Talking about pranks, we got another important issue. We got another serious issue that is going on all over this country, and I don't know. That just goes to show how sick people are. We've got the prank calls to 911. Everybody wants to be a terrorist. People are just calling in, wasting taxpayers' money, calling in fake bomb threats and things like that. And then once again, here in Michigan, in the city of Detroit, to be exact, we're down to about, I think last count was 11 EMS trucks. And yet they've got a whole yard full of them just waiting to go. Now if you get sick or you get injured, the best thing to do is get in your car and drive yourself, because you may not get any help. Matter of fact, we've had several cases where the people had to just go ahead and get themselves to the hospital. One was as fatal as a gunshot wound. We've had a couple die. What's going on in our communities? What's happening? Is our government out of control? Let me know. Do you think yes, no, you don't know? Is it something in the water? Is it in the food? Have we become fast food junkies, and so because of our addiction to fast food, now all of these side effects are going on? Or can we blame it on doctors? You know, every time you go to the doctor now, they prescribe you to some pill, and they find some new disease, and everybody has ADD. We're all mental cases. Let the doctors tell it. So we got to put everybody on drugs. Are we creating a bunch of drug addicts? Are we causing people to sit back and lose all hope? Let me know what you think about it, because it's really getting sad, that's for sure. And I'm afraid that people pretty soon are just going to go all out. But I can say that there are a few that's still trying to bring the communities back. I see more entrepreneurs being made every day. And I strongly recommend that if you have any type of idea, now is the time. Do it now. Don't wait on anybody else. Don't worry about going running to factories and high-paying jobs. Just go ahead and do your thing right now while the getting is good, because I'm convinced that there really is not a recession. The recession, I think, was made up by government to try to keep the rest of the people and to keep the people in the dark, to make people not spend money so that the Republicans could blame the Democrats and the Democrats could blame the Republicans, because the election is coming. It's less than 6 months away. Matter of fact, it's about 5 months and 30 days. So, is this a part of the game that the government's been playing with us? Because when I think about it, I haven't seen that much lost money in the hood. People are still doing whatever they want to do. I still see shopping malls full. And that's a good thing. But we just ask the government to quit shamming us and quit telling us the lie. Tell us the truth about it. I was reading a good article, and I shared this on our other radio show on Blog Talk Radio, Open Talk with Les Jackson. And this one was done by the Syracuse Cultural Workers. And you can look at more of their stuff at SyracuseCulturalWorkers.com. But anyway, this is talking about how to build community. How to build community. And I want you to listen to some of this stuff because it's some real good stuff, and you might want to jot down some of the suggestions that they make, because it's time, people. It's time that we get our community back. It's time that we start caring for one another once again. You know, it says that my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, and God knows that we tend to be lacking a lot of knowledge right now. So anyway, how to build community. The first thing they suggest is turn off your TV. Leave your house. Know your neighbors. Look up when you're walking. You know, it's sad to see somebody walking with their head pointed down, because if your head is always pointed down toward the ground, you can't see what's coming at you. Greet people. When was the last time you just sat back and said a friendly hello to somebody? Sit on your stoop. For those that don't know what the stoop is, just go out and sit on the porch sometime. Show your face. Plant some flowers. Beautify your yard. Paint your house. Sweep out the driveway. Do something. Clean out the garage. Use your library. One of the greatest resources right now that have been overlooked in our society and in our communities is the library. We must get back to reading, because reading is fundamental. You remember that saying? And it's a true fact. We must get back to reading, because there are many programs and grants and things that are available to the people, but if you don't go to the library, it's not like you're going out to the bookstore and you know what to look for, or you can even sit back and preview it before you buy it. So get in there and get your library card. Participate. The library has a lot of programs, computer classes, reading things, stuff for the kids on the weekend. Get involved with your local library. They even have meeting centers where you can start block clubs. Play together. Buy from local merchants. Quit running out all over the place to the farthest place you can run, so that you can come back and tell your neighbors and your friends you got this over at Neiman Marcus and all of those places. Spend your money right in your neighborhood, because your neighborhood, when you spend money in your hood, it all comes back into the hood, so that the neighborhood can be prosperous and productive. Share what you have. Help a lost dog. I don't know about that one, because if you help some of these pit bulls, you might get bit. So I would take that one off the list. Take the children to the park. We got to utilize our parks. We have to teach kids how to play again. Kids are spending too much time in front of the boob tubes, the television, playing video games, watching movies, and doing all kinds of stuff. And then they're going out and they're acting out. And they believe that what they see on TV is real life, when we know and we can distinguish that it's not real at all. But to certain people, what they visually see on TV is what they think it really is out there in the real world. Then it says garden together. Start some community gardens in some of these old vacant lots that are sitting there. Not only does it help keep the place clean and keep the lawn mowed, but it also provides food for an entire neighborhood. And that's something that all the neighbors can get together and do. Save a few bucks going in the supermarket, because I don't know if you're looking at produce and stuff, but it's getting higher and higher and higher. And then let's support our neighborhood schools. I know here in Michigan we've lost quite a few schools. Schools are just closing up and the buildings are being left abandoned. Well, it's time that we sit back and we start supporting our neighborhood schools. I remember they used to have PTA and Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts. They used to sell cookies. We've got to start rallying behind our schools and our children, because that is our future. And if we let the schools go, I'm afraid that we're going to waste and lose a lot of minds. And you know what the old saying is, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And then it says, fix it even if you didn't break it. You know, you got to be willing to sit back, and if you're not a part of the solution, you'll be a part of the problem. Don't just stand back and allow things to happen around you. Get out there and make those necessary calls when you see that joker breaking in your neighbor's house, and when you see somebody vandalizing property. Let it be known. Make it known. Call somebody. You know, just leave. You don't have to leave your name. Just be anonymous. But we can no longer. We've got to take the neighborhoods back. We got to take our community back, because it's getting far out of control. And while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and give a plug about this Sunday. This Sunday at 12 noon, I'll be doing the prayer and giving a brief speech over at the big rally that they're having over on Chicago. They're having a rally on Chicago and Steele in Detroit, Michigan. For those that are Michiganians, I'll be there in person. It's going to be put on by This Hood Is Ours Incorporated, and it's called the Chain Breaker Challenge. It's the Chain Breaker Challenge. You know, in order for the cycle and the madness to stop, somebody has to be willing to break the chain and stop the madness. And it just starts with a few individuals, and these individuals have done a great job. They have taken a community vacant lot that was probably 4 foot high in grass, and they're trying to put basketball courts, and they show movies on Saturday nights for the families. They have an open kitchen where anybody can come and put something on the grill. They also help feed the community. They have a couple of gardens that are throughout the neighborhood that they have went ahead and taken over and started gardens. Anything they can do to make it happen and to bring back some type of unity and some kind of pride into the neighborhood. Then it says have potlucks. You know, we did that here on my block. A few years back, everybody just sat back and brought the grills out, and they had the music going, and everybody barbecued and intermingled and got to know each other, and it came out, it was real successful, even though now neighborhoods are changing like revolving doors, and a lot of neighborhoods don't have any residents but a few on them. But that's even more reason. Have a potluck. Everybody just chip in and just make it happen. Have a good time. Have some clean fun. And this one's for the young people. Young people, respect your elders. You know, in this day and age, you got to remember, and I want the young people to listen real good to this, because if you don't respect your elders, I guarantee your life will be cut short. I guarantee you that the same things in disrespect that you do to the elders, your children are going to do to you, because one day you're going to be somebody's mother or father. And if you don't respect your elders, that thing is going to come back to you, and it's going to come back to you 3 to 100 times worse. And you know, that's what we're going through now. I think a backlash of babies having babies and things of that nature. Now we're starting to see what happened when all of these teenagers got pregnant. And now we've got babies, raising more babies, and they didn't have a chance to be raised themselves. Then next thing on this list of how to build community is pick up litter. You know, it's nothing worse than sitting back and you try to keep your house clean and keep the surrounding of your area beautiful, and all of a sudden you got somebody in the neighborhood that is just almost like a pig, just wallowing in their slop, wallowing in the mud and the mire. Well, you know, sometimes we just got to bite the bullet. Sometimes we just got to get out there and pick it up for ourselves. Maybe they'll get the message. Maybe they'll join in. Then you can sit back and address the issue, and maybe they'll get understanding. Read stories out loud. You know, I remember when I was a kid, we used to have, at night before we went to bed, our mothers and fathers, or most of the time it was mother, mama would read a story to us, you know, and we would be just as happy. And if you look back at the kids from the early 60s, I'll say up to about 64, 65, back, you know, from the 30s to the 60s, to early 60s, you know, those kids had strong foundations, but it seemed like the kids that came up from 68 through now, it's like they don't have any foundation. And as my father used to put it, it seems like they don't have a whole bunch to draw on. And it's time out to blame the government for that one. That just comes from good, solid parenting. We got to be parents, and we got to quit saying that we scared to whoop the kids. You know, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack on that, but time out ain't working no more. We've got 2 on trial right now from the suburbs, the decent part of our communities, and went in and beat the father to death, beat the mother. She's still in the hospital. We're going to kill the siblings, the 2 brothers, but messed around and didn't kill the kids. But it's a shame, you know. We got to go back to some basics. Then dancing in the street, that can go right along with the potluck, you know. And it's always, you know, for some reason, people love to dance. People love music. It's universal. So dancing in the street, just have a thing where you block off your block and just allow the kids to be kids and teenagers to be teenagers and dance in the street. You know, let them know, leave the guns and the drugs at home. That's one of the things I like about this park that they're doing over here on Chicago and Steele. They put a big sign up to let them know, leave the slinging and the guns outside of the park that they're trying to build. And so far, everybody's respected it. And you can see the community truly coming together. And then here's a big one. How many people know their mail carrier? Talk to your mail carrier. Let them know they appreciate it. Maybe that'll get them to get your mail there early in the morning as opposed to getting there at 1 or 2, 3 in the afternoon. Well, we have a good mail carrier. We do. Our mail carrier real friendly. She gets out there. She's on the job. I give her a big salute. And I give that post office a salute because they're going through something right now. I do kind of believe that maybe they should stop Saturday mail. Everything is going to email now and going to the electronic age of the computer. So, I mean, I don't think it would hurt anything if they went ahead and stopped one day. Then it says down here, listen to the birds. In other words, get back to nature. When was the last time you just sat back and looked up in the sky and saw how beautiful the cloud formations were, or came out late at night and gazed into the stars. You know, these are the basic things that we can do to build a community. Because somebody's going to come out, they're going to say, what you looking at? You know, oh, I'm just enjoying the day that the Lord has made. Maybe it might spark a conversation, might get you connected. Might be able to go out and go shopping, do some spinning, some brainstorming, come up with some ideas. It says put up a swing. If you got a neighborhood where there's a lot of little kids, put up a swing somewhere. Maybe you know, you might designate an area or take one of those vacant lots, clean it off, have a garden and have a little playground for the kids. Something that's going to be safe. You know, there's been a lot of little kids getting hit in the street all over the country. You know, out playing in the street because they don't have anywhere to go. So buy a swing. You know, because everybody's so under budget, the first thing that goes is the Parks and Recreation. So when Parks and Recreation go, we don't have to have the government. We don't have to depend on the government as much as we want to. We can take these matters into our own hand and all chip in, and we can make things happen. We can take back our community. Here's a good one. Help carry something heavy. You see an old lady, old man, or you see somebody that needs some help carrying bags or something. You know, feel free to, you know, slowly approach. Don't run up on them gangster, none of that. You know, don't be gun-ho. Just walk up casually, introduce yourself, and maybe offer to help carry the bag somewhere. Put it in the car, anything, you know. But then, too, be careful because, you know, you got a lot of carjackers out there, too. Then it says, barter your goods. You know, we got to get into the thing where, you know, you might be good at something and I might be good at something, and you might be weak at what I'm good at, and you might be weak at what I'm good at, but we got to learn to come together and pool our resources so that we can make things happen, so that we can get the wheels in motion, and we got to get out of the mentality of who's going to be the boss. It's not about who's going to be the boss. It's about when are we going to sit back and learn to function together as one body. You know, we've got to get back into some of the real things that really make people people. We got to show some love, you know. And we've got to get back to the looking out for one another. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. All that good stuff. You know, all those principles. We're losing it, people. We are losing them. And we've got to get back to them because we're just losing out on all of these things. And if we continue, I'm afraid that, you know, it's only going to get worse. Start a tradition. Maybe you want to start an annual block firework on the 4th of July where the whole block pitches in, or maybe a block picnic out at Belle Isle. Invite the whole community, family and friends, you know. We have those all the time at church, the family and friend days. Then ask questions. Ask a question. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions, because if you don't ask, look at it like this. You know, I was telling a guy today, the worst thing that can happen when you ask a question, because when you go into it, you got a 50-50 chance. Either a person can say yes or a person can say no. But if you don't ask, you've taken away all possibility of anything happening. So in order to make something happen, I would say maybe 80% of the time it just starts off by asking a question. And hire young people to do odd jobs. You know, I understand in these days and ages, a lot of the elderly are afraid of the young people, but if we get out there and we get to know the young people in our community, we can sit back and you can tell the good ones from the bad ones. You know, you can tell those that want to be productive and those that want to make things work. And we need to get out there and give them something to do. Teach them a sense of work ethic while they're young, because this thing where kids now want everything just give me, and nobody wants to work by and prosper from the sweat of their brow. So you got to train the kid. We really got to train our young people, and I got to stress that. And then it go lead down to what I said: organize a block club. And then it says, ask for help when you need it. You got to be willing to ask. You know, you've seen people, man, that they can sit back and they can just tear stuff up because they won't ask for help. We got to get rid of the pride, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we've got to throw pride away. We're getting to be too proud, and we're not accomplishing anything but a bunch of mess. And here's a good one. Open your shades. Open your shades. You know, I was sitting back thinking about how break-ins and robbery is on the rise. And I looked at it, and a lot of times what you have is homes where the homes are sitting back. Hello? Yes, where the homes are sitting back, and that was a call right there from the a security thing talking about the FBI is reporting where there are more break-ins and robberies. See, that's what I'm talking about, just as fast as I could talk about it. But when your shades are open, for some reason it gives that stranger a presence that somebody may be in that house. So, you know, open your shades. You don't have to open them every day, but open them every now and then. Crack them a little bit. Let people know that there's something, some movement going on in that house. And it says share your skills. You remember we talked about bartering. Share your skills. You know, whatever you're good at. If you see somebody in the neighborhood that's having a little problem, or in the community that's having a problem with it, offer your skills. Offer to help them out. You know, you can't go wrong with it. It makes you feel good. You know. And don't do it. You don't do it for yourself. You do it, you know, and you don't do it for the feeling. But I tell you, when it makes me feel good, whenever I can help somebody else achieve what they're trying to do, and that's just me. That's just the way I am about things. You know, if I can help you and share things with you, and it helps you to achieve what you're trying to achieve, I feel great. Makes me feel real good. So, you know, go ahead and share your skills. And then it says, take back the night. That's a big one. Start neighborhood watches. You know, get your block club together, and then maybe get with the local police department or district or a precinct and tell them your intentions and that you want to start a neighborhood watch, so that maybe every night a different pair of neighbors can just comb the neighborhood and set up a couple of shifts, you know, right out of schedule. And then turn down the music. You know, I'm still trying to understand how is it that these kids are running around with these cars with these just sound systems that are throwing out hundreds of watts. And if you can't hear it on the outside, I know you can't hear it on the inside of the car. So turn down the music. Be mindful of the people in the area. You know, you've got old people that they don't want to hear all of that. Their ears are sensitive. My ears, I'm only 51 years old. My ears are getting sensitive. And then it says, listen before you react to anger. You know, there's many a person right now that is in the hospital, have been killed because they let their anger get the best of them. And they don't stop to listen to hear what a person is saying. We're so quick to react to where we forget that we have to do more than just react to everything. You know, we're not animals, yet it's almost like we've slipped to an animalistic state, and we're loving it. And we must, like I said, we must stop this madness that's going on, and we must learn to build our communities back up. Then it says meditate or mediate a conflict. You know, you see two kids outside, two little kids out. Try to get there and explain reason with them if you can. You know, of course you don't put yourself in harm's danger, but try to mediate. Try to get there and let them know that, you know, I'm quite sure it's a simple solution. See, back when I was a kid, kids would sit back and they would go to fisticuffs. Now when they get mad, they go home and get a gun. So remember, grown folks, it's up to us, man. We got to train up these children. We got to sit back and we've got to put regulation on these kids. We can't keep letting these kids do whatever they want to do. And then it says, seek to understand. And that's a good thing. You know, stop thinking you know everything. Nobody knows everything. And we all need each other. Nobody is on autopilot, and nobody is out here where they don't need a friend. It's a bad thing to go through life and be lonely. So seek to understand. Try to understand the next person. You know, don't be so quick to judge the person. Be understanding. Sit back and maybe try to put yourself in their shoes. You don't know what that person next door is going through. Or that person that you walk up to with the head hung down. But you might feel it, but you still don't know it. That's why it's so good to open up dialogue and talk. Because you might say something that uplifts that person's spirit. You might say something that pulls that person out of depression. Then learn from new and uncomfortable angles. You know, God has a way of letting us be in storms and letting storms arise in your life just so that you can learn how to handle the hard stuff or stuff that's going to be even bigger than that. Because if you can't handle the small stuff, what you going to do when the real problems start? What you going to do when the problems really arise if you can't handle the small things? You know. And then who said that life was supposed to always be comfortable? You know, if you didn't have some discomfort, you wouldn't know what it would be to be comfortable. If you didn't have some bad times, you wouldn't even understand good times. See, we got to start looking at things in a different mode. We got to start thinking. We got to start putting our minds to work. We got to start exercising our thoughts. We've got to start doing that thing that we know in our heart that is good. And it's not just, see, I don't believe in my heart that all people were just, I don't believe that we weren't made to be bad. You know, I've never seen anybody, when they were little kids, say, oh yeah, when I grow up, I want to be a wino, or I want to be a drug addict. I want to be a thief. You know, I want to be a bank robber. You know, I want to scam people. I want to kill people. You don't think about that when you're a kid. No, you want to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or accountant, or own a business. And somewhere down the line, as we get older, we lose the hope. We lose the dream. And a lot of people say it's because reality sets in, but I don't think it has anything to do with reality. I think it's because as we grow older, we allow so many other issues to creep into our lives, and we build our lives around so much mess to where it's hard to sweep out all the garbage. And then it says that, and I'm going to close with this, know that no one is silent, though many are not heard. Work to change this. Know that no one is silent, though many are not heard, but work to change this. You know, there's so many people right now, and I'm closing with this. There's so many people right now that they see things. They're looking out the window. They're walking up the street. And people are living in such fear to where They will see crimes being committed and they'll turn away. They'll see wrong in a person's life and they won't offer a helping hand. And I think a lot of this is because of the media. A lot of this is because of government. A lot of this is because of the decay in our communities. But the main reason it is because of us. It all starts with you and it starts with me. What are we going to do? Are we ready to make a difference? Are we ready to make a change? Are we ready to sit back, and are we sick and tired of being sick and tired? This is News and Views with Les Jackson. Like I say, you can email me at bossconductor05@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. I'll throw some questions out there on the air. You can catch us on Twitter, where on Twitter you can sit back and you can tweet me and I can respond to some of your tweets. But it's time that we build a community. We've got to sit back and we have to make a stand. We have to sit back and we have to start working this thing out, people. We have to sit back and we have to allow people to be themselves and try to understand what it is that they're going through, and if we can lend a helping hand, lend a helping hand. For we are our brother's keeper. We might not want to recognize it, but we are. And I'm responsible for you, and you're responsible for me, and I'm responsible for that neighbor. And if we forget what it is to love one another, I'm not going to say that we can solve all the problems, because I don't believe that there'll ever be total peace in the world. I don't believe that. But I do believe that if we sit back and that if we can just open up and start doing our part, I think that we can make our world a better place. That world that you've built around yourself, I believe that you can make that a better place. I believe that that world that your friend or your neighbor allows you to enter into, I believe that you can help make that a better place. But we got to stop. We got to stop depending on others. We got to stop depending on the government. We got to stop depending on the mamas and daddies. We got to stop depending on city officials. We got to stop depending on the church pastor or the deacons. We've got to quit depending on government assistance. We've got to stop depending on all of that and take some real responsibility. We've got to take responsibility and start depending upon God. And that's really, I think, what it all boils down to. You know, to the agnostic, I say that, you know, I don't care what you believe in, but it's time that we start believing in something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Even the devil had sense enough to believe and know that there was a God. Now, what would I be to sit back and be here and to think that it was nothing when even the devil himself believes there's a God? We've got to build up our communities, people. It's time that we show some love all the way around the board. And before I go, I want to sit back. I got to put in a plug for a little shop that I found. I was out walking this morning, because my car went down. So I got a chance, and there's something, I tell you what, taking a walk is a good thing if you can do it. Take a walk through the neighborhood and see what's going on. Because I was surprised at all the little businesses that were sitting back and popping up. And hold on for 1 second. Let me get this so I can put this plug in, because I told her I would do it. And I want to put in a plug for it, definitely. I guess I'm going to have to wait until the next show to put in a plug for her. But it's a little bitty shop right there on 6 Mile. They've got the D-shirts, T-shirts, the tees. They're going for $15. They've also got those little things those ladies like for the little bath and shower things. They got those little baskets for them. Everything is priced real reasonable. Then I saw a nice little resale shop. They had some good stuff there too. But get out in the neighborhood, canvass your neighborhood, see what's going on, see what's happening in your community. And as I said, support your local merchants. Get out there. We got to build these communities back up, man. I mean, it's good that there are churches, but it's not good when you start seeing just as many liquor stores. Let's just face it. One works against the other. And so we've got to take back the community. We've got to sit back and stop letting people target us. Stop letting people target your neighborhood and put anything in your community that they want to put there, and you just sit back and not voice an opinion. You know, there are some communities that really got it together, man. They will sit back in a minute, in a heartbeat, and they will sit back and let you know that you can't put this in our neighborhood. We got kids. So let's show some love. Start taking back your community. We'll be back on here on Friday. We think that on Friday we're going to get on here and we're going to test it out about 1 o'clock p.m. News and Views with Les Jackson. We're going to be back on the air. And we're going to try to keep it real. We're going to try to find things that matter. We're going to try, we'll let you know. We'll also remind you again about that big event coming up Saturday in Detroit, Michigan. Right there on West Chicago at Steel. Right there in the vacant lot, what used to be the vacant lot. They're turning it into a playground, people, for the kids. They're making a step. An outside organization is making a step. And they're starting to pull the community together because they were hanging out in the field with the grass high. They were over there slinging drugs and drinking beer. Now, hey, the hood, the neighborhood is taking it back. It's time to change the word hood to neighborhood again. We got to put the neighbor back in hood. Because as long as you got a hood, you allow any kind of riffraff. But when you put the neighbor back in the hood, now you're showing some love. So let us get back out there and reclaim our neighborhoods and build a place for our future and for our children. Because the children are the future, and if we don't show them a better way, I'm afraid it might not be nothing for them. We better really be careful because big cities all over the country are deteriorating very fast. The ghetto is spreading. We may think that they're building up downtown, but the ghetto is enlarging itself. You look around you. The ghettos are getting bigger. The hoods are expanding. And wherever there are hoods, there are hood rats. Wherever there's a hood, there are hood rats. So be careful. Get it before it's too late. Who's going to break the chain? We need some chain breakers. Take my challenge. Take that challenge, the chain breaker challenge. Find something in your life that is negative and try to turn it into a positive. Instill within your kids, when you see something negative, to stop the madness and change it into something positive. Go ahead and make sure that we don't have incidents where mothers and fathers are getting kicks by putting their kids in washers and dryers, and then they start tumbling and the people run off and just leave the kid because they still on the run. They're on the run. Now the kid is given over to the aunt, but the kid could have been made a ward of the state. More taxpayer money being wasted. So just remember what I said, there's always somebody watching you. You might not realize it, you may not think it, but all eyes are on you. Somebody sees what you do, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Whether they choose to approach you or whether they choose to sit back. But never think that they don't talk. Because that's what we do. That's what people do. They talk, they talk, they talk. They talk about you, or they talk with you, or they talk for you. Remember those three things. So until next week, I'm going to say peace and love. Let us remember the babies that have no say-so in the matter. Let us say a prayer for those that are still sick and suffering. Let us say a prayer for the homeless, that they might go ahead and find homes. And I think on Friday, we're probably going to talk about the homeless and homelessness. So be prepared. And once again, you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace. News and Views with Les Jackson. We're going to try to keep it real and keep it live. From the bedroom to the White House, we're going to have issues for you. I know one thing we're going to talk about on Friday. We're going to talk about this new Obama book. I'm going to go find it. I'm going to read it. Find out what the heck is going on. Because I just want to know. I want to see for myself what's happening. So until next week, enjoy the weekend. Or until Friday, enjoy tomorrow. Make the best out of today. Take it one day at a time. Don't bite off more than you can chew. And please, whatever you do, get out there and show some love. Make a difference. We'll talk to you on the next go-around. This is News and Views with Les Jackson. We hope you have a blessed evening, a good night, and we'll talk to you on Friday.